Welcome to the Athletics Up North podcast, where we talk track and field your questions. I'm your host, Tori West. Let's get this show started.
It's a monster throw, ladies and gentlemen. Jared Bannister.
Away, Freeman out well. A magnificent performance. What a legend. What a champion.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Athletics Up North podcast. This week we're chatting to High Jumper Brenton Foster, who is currently over in the US studying and training at the University of Virginia. Brenton was originally from Townsville and used to train with Gary Cairns and Sue Boyd. He's represented Australia numerous times, including World Youth Championships in Cali and the World University Championships last year in Italy. Brenton just recently jumped a PB of 2:26 and of course is looking to build on this performance in order to qualify for the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. Sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy this episode. All right, we're on. We're started. Welcome, Brenton. Thanks for chatting with me. So first of all, explain who you are. Like, how do you explain who you are to like some random on the street? Like, hey, I'm Brenton Foster and blah, 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 blah.
Well, I guess in the terms of track and field, I was born in Brisbane but moved to Townsville pretty young. Was part of Townsville North Star Athletics Club for 10 years. Was mostly a high jumper, but mostly like all of the jumps. And then I moved to the United States when I was 18 for school, and I've been here for 4 years now. Just about finished my undergraduate degree. And been jumping high jump for 4 years now. Yeah.
Nice. Now, we used to train in the same squad in Townsville. And yep. I do recall you being an all-rounder. Like, you were pretty good at most of the events. Like, I'm a multi-eventer now, but I think you could have been a decathlete. Was that, like, how did you stick with the high jump? How did you end up sticking with the jumps? Like, you know, even though you're at everything.
I don't know. I loved doing everything back in the day, but like I remember being better at high jump, and it was like I loved it, and I just like for some reason didn't try anything else after I turned like 15. I just stopped doing everything else pretty much. So it was like just high jump from then on. But like even now, like I see like our decathletes at my school, and like you have Southbourne, I'm just like, oh, like that just looks fun. I wish I could do everything, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's a lot of hard work. I will admit that.
Yeah. Oh, agreed.
I'm constantly sore, but it is. Now, I remember back in the day, like I remember high school meets back at the Red Track. Like you were a superstar. Like I remember just everyone gathering around for when you did high jump. Like you used to pull out some pretty amazing like feats. So explain to us like your progression from when you were young. Because I remember you started probably doing state rep at 11. Is that right? And then all of a sudden you just were doing Australian records and just blew up.
Yeah. It was interesting because it was like I was like you know, repping North Queensland and everything like that, going to States for like 2 years. But like at 11, I think I had a growth spurt or something like that, and went from like just making like States to like making nationals. And I remember my second or first national, something like that, I won long jump, triple jump, and high jump at the same meet. And from then on, like it was just like for some reason like growth spurt or whatnot. I think just training in general got a lot better, and I improved.
Yeah. Now, I find with the jumps, like, there's a lot of talented jumpers out there, but
Absolutely.
I think it really takes a certain mentality to be successful at it, because I remember you telling me actually once, you're the one who told me this, was that in high jump, you got to accept you're going to fail. Like,
Yeah, agreed.
So explain that mindset just for like any younger jumpers that are out there listening or coaches.
Yeah, I guess it's similar with like pole vault, high jump, just the events where like even though you'll win the event or like it'll just be you left in the competition, you try again and you have the fails, you don't make the heights, or like you try at something and it doesn't work out for you because you've hit it, and it's something that you have to work with, that you like have tried it and you've gone, oh, why didn't I make that? Like why can't I keep like improving even if I've done like I've won the meet or done the best I could, you know? So it's interesting. And I feel like you can like extend that to most of the events in track and field. It's like, it's such a sport where it's like you get like a certain mark and everyone knows that it's like, oh, like a 10-5-100 or like, you know, a 5,500 heptathlon, everything like that. It's like you understand that it's like you get that mark, but like you want to push it, you want to be better, you want to, you know, whatever. So
Yeah. You're never quite satisfied. I think.
exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's a weird thing. Like I know for me personally, like
Yeah.
just hitting that 6,000 point barrier, I was like, I
Yeah.
was happy. I was like,
Yeah, exactly. Like
a bit more. Yeah.
it's always like, oh, like you jump like a jump or hit a barrier and you're like, oh wow, like I'm happy I did that, but like I know there's more. Like I want to keep pushing it. It's such like a thing where it's exact marks, or like everyone knows like, oh, this is your mark. This is like, you know, it's not like, oh, if you're good at like soccer, it's like, oh, he's like got a good amount of skills, he can kick a ball well. But like track and field is so like numbers orientated that it's like everyone knows what's good and what's like you can keep improving sort of
Yeah.
thing.
It's so finite. But
Yeah, definitely.
at the moment, I feel
Mhm.
like you're flying a bit under the radar. I don't, because you're in the US system. I
Yep.
know you just recently jumped a PB, didn't you?
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, it was after I jumped. After about 2 years of not having a PB, it was 226 is my current PB, and unfortunately, with everything being like cut short, I felt like that could have improved. But you know, I think I think moving forward, I think there's a lot of time before, you know, Olympic trials and Olympics that it can keep like going up there.
And so is that the goal now, like Olympics?
Absolutely,
Oh, good.
absolutely. Yeah, so I've just finished my undergrad degree, but I'm looking to do a master's here at my university in Virginia. So I get another year to train and hopefully come home for the Olympic trials whenever they'll be. I haven't actually heard anything specific on that, but hopefully, you know, I'll come home for Olympic trials, make Olympic team. That's like definitely the goal right now.
And what's the auto height? You got to jump 230?
233.
Okay. All right.
Which is ridiculously high compared to you know, past years. I think in London 2012, I think 233 got you a bronze medal. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that being the auto qual. I think like 7 or 8 people have made that so far, and obviously with it being cut short, a lot more guys are expected to make it. But you know, it's a difficult height, but hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, you got to believe it before you can ever achieve it. So,
Absolutely,
you know,
completely agree.
that's the secret. But I know there's 2 ways to qualify. There's
Mhm.
the auto or the points system. So,
Yep.
you know, do you have like a sequence of events that you know you'll be doing once things come back online to chase those points, or like how have you got a
I'm
game plan yet?
Yeah, unfortunately not. It's like with being in the US system and being in school here, all the meets that we compete at aren't very good points wise, because they have to be like pretty local meets. We can't travel too far because it's not in the budget of the school, and like all of my teammates go. So like even like winning and jumping really well within the US system isn't getting you many points. Like we have our NCAA championships, and you win that, you're like the winner of that usually jumps like 230 plus. Like it's a really good jumper, but they'll only get like 20 points, 25 points.
Easy.
Yeah. So unfortunately, not with the points. I think my only real avenue is getting the 233.
Okay, so you've literally got the bar set high for yourself, like
Yep.
literally,
Agreed.
figuratively, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. So now that you know NCAA indoors was cancelled, right? So everything's on
Yep.
hold at the moment. How has your training changed now that coronavirus has stuffed everything up?
It was actually quite interesting because we were in New Mexico for the championships. It started the next day when everyone was told to go home. So everyone in the country had traveled to New Mexico, to Albuquerque. There were like thousands of people there for the championships, and the day before it started, everyone was told to leave. So like everyone was a bit annoyed about that, but we all understood that it's like like this is obviously a global event that should be looked at with a lot of seriousness. So we all went home, and then like our coaches pretty much said, well, like see you in August, see you when school starts. Like we're given like a slight pen, but like building for like nationals next year is like they're kind of like just like don't put on a lot of weight, I guess. Like keep somewhat fit, but don't do too much.
That's all they're telling you. So essentially,
Pretty much.
have you not? So for this off season, I guess, have you not got like a coach or a program set? You sort of got to do your own.
No. Like I'm doing my own stuff. Like obviously, like I'm training every day because I want to be as like the best I possibly can. So I'm putting in everything I can. But my coaches are like, yeah, like do whatever you want to do. Like, you know, if you want to go out and lift or run or whatever, like go ahead, but we're not going to help you, kind of thing. Which is a bit like it's a bit annoying, but like in the same sense of it, it's like they have to look after 100 kids on our team, and like everyone's individually based, and to plan it out from this early on, considering we want to peak, you know, early next year in a year's time, it's like it's understanding.
Yeah, but I guess the good thing is you still got access to facilities, right? You can still go to the gym and to the track, right?
Nope.
You can't.
Everything is completely closed. No, it's
How are you doing this, Brenton?
the whole of Virginia, the state I'm in, is locked down until the governor has said June 10th is the earliest that everything will open up again. So everyone's on house arrest pretty much. It was funny. I had a nice piece of wood that was about the same length as like a Olympic lifting bar, and I've got like plastic bags full of rocks that I'm using as my like Olympic lifting bar. So that's interesting. But overall, like the most stuff that I would be doing is like I'm going to like I have a hill near us that's like nice for hill sprints, nice for like keeping somewhat like in terms of fast twitch fibers and everything active. I'm kind of doing that, but mostly it's just, you know, finishing school and, you know, not trying not to go insane while I'm stuck inside.
Yeah, far out. I guess that's tough, man. Like
Yeah.
I can still here where I am, like I can still go out to a grass track and, you know, do. Oh, I've lost you out there. Do stuff at home somewhat.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm really impressed right now that you're still somewhat training, because that's
Yeah, like
I mean,
it's hard.
This will be a good story when you do make it, you know. You're
Yeah,
growing up.
definitely.
You should take pictures
From the backyard to the
100%. You should be taking videos and pictures of your weights you're using now, because that's
I will.
yeah, that's cool. So you finished your undergrad now. So what are you studying at the moment? Like
So I've got it's only like a couple of weeks until we're done with my undergrad. I'm a statistics major. So after finishing statistics, there's a couple 1-year masters offered at the University of Virginia, and all of them are in education, which isn't the path I would love to go. But like they're the only 1-year masters offered, and like with eligibility and with like being able to jump at the school for like only an extra year, they only offer that. Like if I want to do a 2 years masters, it's a whole extra process. So I think I'm going to get my masters in education, which is interesting because it definitely isn't the path I'd love to go. But
well, it's something, and it will allow you to at
it's
least
definitely something.
Doing athletics, you know, over there. Right?
Yeah, that's the main reason I'm staying here. Like my coach and I have built up a really good relationship. Obviously, PR'd after 2.5 years of not being able to quite get there. So we're really working well, and which is obviously the main reason I'm sticking it out here.
Yeah, I've always thought about it. Some of the best athletes or in our sport are one of the trends is they have a really good relationship with their coach, because as much as
Absolutely.
individual, you need someone like to bounce off who knows you day in, day out. Like how important, like, was it always easy for you going through college? Because I feel like there'd be lots of different people coaching through different colleges and like strength and I don't know how it works. Like how have you balanced and managed to find that relationship?
I mean, yeah, it is definitely like I agree that like even though a lot of people think like track and field very individual, like it's all about like how you do, like the support network that people have is vital. It's ridiculously important. And with college, there's 10 coaches or so per team, and like you do have your individual, like we have a like jumps coach, so he'll work on like our like jumps and like technique wise, but then we'll have strength and conditioning, we'll have a sprinting, we'll have like overall like endurance and like off season kind of like getting fit. And it's interesting to see that like the interpersonal relationships between them and like between you, and obviously you have like the people that you more agree with, and like some people you obviously like maybe butt head with because it's like you don't fully agree with what they're trying to get you to do, but you have to like go along with it or talk to them about it. And it is interesting, but it is part of the sport. It's such a technical, and like every centimeter counts with everything, and like you have to push for that exact mark and everything. So
Yeah, crazy. And so you're on a scholarship in the States, so you're getting an
yep,
education and you're getting this
yep,
amazing life experience, which
yep,
is amazing. I sort of wish I could have done it, but I wasn't quite good enough, I don't think, when I finished high school to quite make it.
yeah.
But for young athletes in North Queensland per se that are looking at going down that pathway, like what advice do you have them? Like what could you, like through that journey, what would have made it easier to make that transition? Or
I think someone to talk to that's been through the experience, and like if like I am happy to talk to anyone about it. It's like someone that understands how to get through it, because you might talk to like a recruiter that's like, okay, give us like this amount of money and we'll make it happen. But like if you do have the passion, if you do have the ability, like you can talk to someone that's been through it, and they can definitely help you. So with that, like all in all, like first and foremost, like education is very important here, and like they understand like if that's something that you want to mix with your athletics, then I think this is a good way to go. But yeah, all in all, I think like having a pretty good mentor would be something that like obviously you and I both know Hayden Clark. He did this a couple of years before I did, and he was someone that I really talked to about like going through this process and everything like that.
okay, so reaching out. So there we go. If anyone listening
Yeah.
wants to go to college, hit up Brenton. He'll give
Yep.
you the advice
Absolutely.
you
Happy to
need.
talk to you.
He's doing pretty well over there. So sweet, sweet. And how does like, how would you compare like ANQ seasonal events like ANQ Champs and Student Games to
Yeah.
the sort of meets you do now? Like is it somewhat similar, or is it over there like this huge big spectacular thing and the vibe is different?
To be honest, like track and field in America is pretty big. Like people love it. Like I think like comparing it to like a town, like a small Townsville meet, and then like the one of the biggest national events, like in terms of track and field that they have here with the NCAA's, is it's interesting because like I think at our outdoors last year, about 100,000 people turned up to our Austin Stadium, and like the event is ridiculous. You have like women running 10:75 in the 100. You have Grant Holloway running ridiculously fast in the hurdles. Mondo Duplantis jumping pole vault. Like it's like a world class event. It's amazing to watch, and like it does get a lot of a national attention, but I think it should be getting more, just because it's like I feel like there's younger athletes. Like everyone's not at the professional level, but like I think a lot of the people that are there will be going on to professional events the next couple of years. So I would say it's very interesting to watch, that's for sure, and be a part of.
So definitely not comparable to anything in Australia yet.
I mean, not so much yet, but I definitely, Australia is getting there. There's like a lot of support and a lot of people putting in a lot of good time and helping Australian track and field and athletics like get to that next level. And like some of the fondest memories of my life are Friday night ANQ meets and like just like ANQ championships. Like I'll never forget like the amount of fun we had, and just like pushing ourselves, and like realizing that all of these afternoons together, like training together, has just been worth it. And we put it in, and everyone's doing well, and we're just having a great time. Like I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it's
But
easy
yeah,
to take it for granted, eh? Because I remember the crew
absolutely.
and the squad and training every day, and that's
Yeah,
what I loved most about athletics, especially if you're not a stand at it, because not everyone's Brenton Foster, the freak at high jump. But like just that environment at training where you see your coaches every day and your friends, and
yeah,
like, it's easy to take for granted. But I think that's one of the best things about athletics at a grassroots level.
agreed. Agreed.
I wish more young people would see that, because I think we're so, like, when you're young you're stupid and you just focus on numbers
Yeah,
and
yeah,
performance and winning, but there's so much more to it. So
yeah. Like I only fully appreciate it now that it's like it's over. It's like I've not had that like going to Pimlico High School and training on the grass track every day. Like I miss it a lot, and like having like everyone there. But I guess you only appreciate it once you don't have it. So
yeah. Do you being so far away, do you find it tough not having family around to support as much, like to come watch
yeah,
meets?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I haven't been back to Australia in about 2.5 years. So
Wow.
it's yeah, it's been a long time. So it's like not being able to see family so much. Unfortunately, they came to Italy for World University Games, and like that was amazing to see, like to have them see me compete after so long, which was like, Mum was taking me to Pimlico every afternoon, sitting in the car doing her work, and like family and parents like don't give them enough credit. They're so supportive, and like it is something that I would love for them to be able to see me more, and that's why I want to get to like the Olympics and world competitions where they can come and see it.
Well, I think it's an exciting 3 or 4 years ahead for you, or even
Yeah,
us,
definitely.
because like you think about it,
Yeah,
we've got another
both
year
of
for
us,
the
definitely.
Olympics, and then
Yep,
the year after that it's Oregon, and then that same
yep.
year is the Com Games, and your
Yeah,
Com Games are
it's a
both over that line. So
yeah, like I'm like it was ridiculously exciting to see you in Italy, like both of us like I remember like I was 10 years old and we were training together in a backyard somewhere, and it was like, and it's kind of ridiculous to see us like continuing to like hit the world stage, and I hope it keeps going.
yeah, it's interesting. We've taken very different pathways and
Yeah,
different, but
agreed.
it's amazing how it all comes full circle, and you
Yeah,
appreciate that journey. And like I
yeah,
remember watching you when you were like 11 with Kim Jenner,
yeah. Kim
and
Jong.
I remember thinking, because I think when I was 13 I had a Townsville record for high jump, and
Yeah.
one thing I was scared of was Kim Jenner beating it. She did
Oh,
it,
really?
but I know now she's a netballer. But
Yep.
it's just interesting to look back. I remember, training at the track. Do you remember that day it was like raining and it
Oh,
just
I still have
poured
videos of that.
down?
I see them. Oh,
And
yeah.
and Marissa was there, and we were just like sliding on the mat, saying
Yep.
such good memories. So
Yep. Agreed. I think that was after like a hard workout. I remember it
yeah,
being like it was difficult, and we just like had fun after that, and just yeah, that's what I live for. Just having like a good time, like doing athletics, and like it's not fun some of the time when you're like doing a hard workout, but then like you get such like good connections with people, and like
mm.
spending every afternoon with them is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's all about community, and I know your mum too is a big part of the athletics community in North
Hmm.
Queensland. She was an official. I remember always officiating high jump. Always
Yep.
helping out. Athletics dies without volunteers like your mum. And it's
Absolutely.
absolutely
Absolutely.
essential.
Yeah, like mum was like she was a massive part of it, and like she created amazing relationships with other parents that were coming along and just like helping Friday nights, and then she grew from that. She like, and I know a lot of other parents as well, like she was helping with state meets and national meets, and like she would go to meets like without me and officiate, and I'd be like, oh, like why, like I'm not going to this meet, why are you like, and she's like,
Yeah,
I love doing it, like,
yeah,
and I think that's a massive, like you said, a massive and important part.
yeah. I think that your people like your mum can easily be forgotten, but
Yeah,
like officials and parents, without them, our sport dies, which is
yeah, agreed,
because it
agreed.
is volunteer based. So it's, yeah, people like your mum are awesome. It's amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I completely agree.
in North Queensland too, I've noticed a trend through the years. There's been quite a
Mhm.
few good jumpers come out of the north.
Yep. Yeah.
Was there any particular high jumper that inspired you, like coming up?
Got to be Josh Hall. Like he was a William Ross. No, not a William Ross. Wait, did he go? I think he went to both my primary school and my high school. He definitely went to Annandale, and I think he went to William Ross State High School. And he was a his PR is 225, I think.
Mm.
Um, or 226. So it was like he was like, I remember a night that he was trying to qualify for the Commonwealth Games, and he was trying, I think, like it was like 220 for a pre-departure or something like that, and like it was amazing to watch him. I don't think he ended up making it, but like he was definitely one of the people I like really like aspired to be. And now that I'm like up to kind of the same level, it's pretty awe-inspiring just to have someone, you know.
Yeah, and he ended up in AFL and
Yep.
NFL, right? Which I can
Yep.
understand. As an athlete, there's money there to be made in those sports.
Yeah,
They
agreed.
offer you
Agreed.
if like, was there any point where you considered crossing over to another sport, or was it always athletics?
I mean, I think I started like really focusing on athletics like quite young. That it like at the point where like some people like because of like I was compared to Josh Hall quite a lot, and like everyone was saying like, oh, are you gonna switch to AFL? Like you're tall, you're strong, you're fast, whatever. But like I just like since like 10, 11, I loved like athletics and track and field and the competition of it all, and like I can never see myself like switching, like even now, like if like someone said would you go back and change to a sport maybe where you'd make a little bit more money, or like even a little bit of money at all, I would probably still say no. Like I mean, I love it, it's my sport, and I would definitely stick it out, and then hopefully stick it out for a couple more years to come.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, it's going to be exciting. This next 3 to 4 years of
Yeah,
competition.
agreed.
I'm looking forward to. I'm glad I'm in amongst ANQ still, because I think a big
Mhm.
thing we need to do is watch the journeys of athletes like yourself and
Yeah.
me, and like because I think when you go to the US system, you can get forgotten, and I think
Agreed.
I
Definitely.
think that was one thing they highlighted at World Unis, is that they're trying to give a bit more recognition and watch you
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Do you get any support from athletics in Australia? Like, does anyone reach out just to check in how you're going, or is it you're on your own?
It's gotten better over the last year. Adam Didick from down south, he's reached out. They've started like a liaison kind of program with like connection between US based athletes and back home, because like even as I was jumping well here, like over the last 3 years, like I don't feel like I've gotten like that much support, even if it's just like an email or just like a recognition. Like I remember checking when I would jump like 226 or jump well, like I wouldn't like my 226 is now like top 10 all time, I think, or like close to it. And like I get like put on the list after like a month of after jumping it, and like I feel like even like a small amount of like just understanding that I'm here and that I am still Australian and that I am still like doing this for like on the world stage, I will completely and utterly represent Australia, even though I'm based here. Like I am 100% an Aussie, and I think like I think maybe a little bit more for like I know there's a lot of great athletes like Jessica Hull, Ollie Horn, like a lot of really good athletes here that maybe could do with a little bit, even just like saying like, oh, congrats on blah 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 in an email would be great.
I think I'm totally on the same page with you. I think that is the minimal that can be done. Like, just to
Yeah,
say, hey, we recognize this performance. Like, it's not enough just to put
absolutely.
a post up, a social media post, but not
Hmm.
personally outreach. And I feel
Exactly. Yep.
that's something that definitely needs to be improved, because what's the point of doing all this good stuff if your own national body won't recognize you or say, hey,
Yeah.
well done,
Yep.
man. Like, it's a tough thing. I know I've personally gone through it. After nationals, I didn't even get an email or anything.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like I don't like I I just am. It's like hard for us to understand that like that without us as athletes, like this whole thing doesn't really go on, and that maybe like a little bit of recognition is something that would obviously go a long way for us.
Yeah. Hopefully, I always remain hopeful. Like there's so
Yeah,
much.
definitely.
I always remain hopeful, and I think I know with ANQ we're trying to do that. That's why we're doing this. We're trying to get out stories and share things more. And we talk about it a lot. Like, what can we do to help keep people in the sport even? Because, there's a huge dropout after high school. And I think it's because kids and athletes just feel forgotten. It's like, what's my performance doesn't really matter. Like, I might win nationals, but you're forgotten. And I think that can be changed by like, recognition, an email, reaching out and just saying, hey, good job, man. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Proud of what you do. Like, even what you're doing, like, I think it's been like missed a lot. Like, even leading into 2018 Com Games, you jumped a monster jump, out of the blue. That was your B qual. And
exactly.
Not many people heard about that,
No, and like it was like a bit unfortunate that like I jumped a B qual and I was ranked tied second going into like Commonwealth qualifiers, and like I was like unfortunately financially not able to come home for like Oz champs and like Commonwealth qualifiers, but like the jump I jumped was the same as the person that got qualified and got through, and like I just like, because I was living in the States, I feel like I wasn't given the kind of opportunity possibly to like prove my worth and prove that I could make the Commonwealth team. But like saying that, it was like it is a bit tough and it is expensive to be able to come home and support athletes in general. I know that the funding isn't the obviously it's not an endless pit, so I do understand it, but a little bit would be nice.
Yeah, it would be, most definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the college system competitions. Like,
Yep.
what do you reckon we could do, like, in North Queensland comps to improve them? Like, what sort of elements from US comps do you think, apart from the crowd? The crowd is
that's
a
an
challenge.
Interesting question.
But what can we do to make events like more like, this has got a good vibe about it?
I think like one big thing that like everyone like in America is like, it's the hype around like, a certain athlete or a certain event. Like they'll like really push it on like on social media or on all these platforms that like, this is the event to watch. This is like you should be watching and looking at these athletes because they're going to do great things. And like, I have no doubt that there are many, many athletes in North Queensland that are going to do great things and that are like going to hit that next level in a couple of years. And I think like pushing them and like saying to the public, oh, this is someone you should watch because in a couple of years they're going to be at the Olympic Games. Like, I think like having them understand that and then getting them into like the crowds is really good, because then they find that passion too and they continue to follow it.
That's true. Yeah, okay. It's good I think the hype. Yeah, I think as much as hype.
Yeah, because like in America, like people like track and field is one of the smaller sports, but people absolutely like get obsessed with it. They're like American people that have nothing to do with track and field that like will go and watch an event and they'll just get obsessed. They like love it. They'll watch like everyone jump over at this competition, compare it to this competition, and they'll get completely enthralled by it. And it's like, I think the big thing with track and field is the numbers that you can see, like, oh, this person jumped this or this person jumped this, and you can compare them. And I think that's something that needs to be pushed a little bit more, that it's like a competition-based kind of event.
Nice. All right. I think that's good to know, because I think, we'll see if we can apply it to ANQ champs. Definitely. If like, do you know when you're coming to Australia next? Like,
I was hoping to come home this summer, but just with everything going on, it's like I don't know if it's going to happen. So, and like I was set to come home and booked flights, and it was like a week out before everything got cancelled to Australian Championships for like Olympic trials kind of thing. So hopefully soon, hopefully I can get a good competition in under there back in home soil, but I'm not 100% sure when next I'm being home.
Fingers crossed. Well,
Yeah.
so basically the name of this podcast, I'm just backtracking,
Yeah.
it's called Athletics Up North, Talking Track and Fielding Questions. So we talk track. I think people got a good sense of who you are. I'm actually impressed right now because I feel like you've got a bit of a hard journey ahead to train and get yourself, but I think you'll make it. It sounds like you got yourself
Hopefully.
in the right headspace. You know, I believe in you 100%. But now the next part is we ask questions. Okay, so I'm just going to hit you with some random questions and be interested in your
definitely.
So the first one is, what brand of shoes do you prefer wearing?
I'm a Saucony or Saucony, I think you might call them.
Saucony.
So they're like it's kind of like a swoosh, but it's got like 3 dots in it. They're like a much less known brand, but like high jump wise, they're the best high jump shoes I've ever used. I tried Nikes. I'm sorry, but they're bad.
I think Nikes look cool. I just don't know how.
They look very cool, but they're heavy and they're rigid and they're not flexible, and I don't like them. I'm sorry.
That's fair. I appreciate your honesty. It's good. Next one. What is the hardest track session or fitness session you do as a high jumper?
Oh, as a high jumper, to be honest, there's not too many hard ones. Like preseason wise, we do a couple ladders, so it'll be like a 200 on and then like a 50 walk, 200 on, and then it'll be like up and down between like 150, 100, 150, 200, 250. And you'll do that about 12 times. And we'll do that once a week for like a month in preseason. That's probably the hardest. But other than that, it's actually like quite easy. You know, if you're not a fan of running a lot or being in pain, then definitely pick high jump because it's not too bad.
I wish I was a better high jumper. So I wouldn't have to hurt so much. Next one is, do you have a big rival in high jump, or is it, is there anyone in particular you enjoy beating, or not beating, but competing against that make you lift?
To be honest, not really. Like the community here is amazing. Like we have a good group of guys that have been like at the top of like NCAAs and like top 10 in the country for a while, and we all know each other and we all love competing against each other. And like I would say it's like great to compete against them, but there's not one person that I so much like to compete against. Someone that I've never competed against that I would love to, like, not in terms of like beating him or anything, but just like Brandon Stark. I've never competed against him, never met him, but like I think I could jump a PR against him because like he's like such a legend, and like it's just a dream to be able to compete with him.
He's so smooth
One day
when he jumps. I love.
He's ridiculous. It's amazing.
Oh, it's
technique-wise, that man cannot go wrong.
Oh, it's like, honestly, it's so graceful.
Yep.
Even if he's jumping low, I think, damn, that looks
agreed.
amazing.
Agreed.
All right. Well, I had one more question. I'm just trying to think what it was. It mustn't have been a good question. Oh well, that's it. I think we've covered a lot, but thanks so much for chatting with us for the podcast.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No worries. And all the best with your training ahead, and we'll be sure to like watch what you're doing and share your story, and I think it will inspire a lot of people. I think you're pushing for big things, and I know I'm pretty excited to hopefully be on the same team as you next year. So
yeah, agreed. And yeah, to you too. Like hopefully everything goes well for us in training, and I hope we can, stick it out, and if we're having rough days, maybe text each other and say it's going to be fine or something like that, because like we were saying, like having that back in the backyard Pimlico training squad, like one of the reasons I keep going is like thinking about that and how much work we put in back in the day. But
yeah, shout out Gary and Sue.
Hopefully we get there.
Yeah.
Yep, Gary and Sue. Thank you.
Legends. All right. Well, thanks, Brenton. We'll be in touch. Hopefully we'll see you compete against Brandon Stark soon, and
hopefully for me too.
Yeah. All right. Well, stay safe, stay well.
You too. Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed episode 3 and our chat with Brenton. It was interesting to hear his college experience and how he's training given the coronavirus. It's certainly exciting to see the heights that he'll reach in the lead up to Tokyo. Brenton has just started a new Instagram page and YouTube channel where he'll be documenting his Olympic journey. Be sure to follow and subscribe to these channels. In this modern era, the best way you can support athletes is actually to subscribe to their socials. So follow him, it'll help him get his exposure, and it will also bring you along in his Olympic journey. And we're certainly excited to see where he goes from here. Next week, we're talking to the one and only Yvonne Mullins. Yvonne Mullins is the Executive Director, I believe that's the word, of Oceania Athletics and also the President of the ANQ Board. We talk about how ANQ came to be, the future of ANQ, and also about the community and grassroots level of athletics and why it's so important. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our digital platforms so you can be the first to hear when our next episode comes out live. Stay well and stay tuned. I'll chat to you again soon.